All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories. And I hope everyone's having a nice Tuesday. It's been a fairly nice Tuesday for me today.
It's freezing here.
Is it?
So far,
Oh,
so
fuck.
good.
It's
got-
still in the 20s here in Vancouver, 20 Celsius. By the way.
no.
Yeah.
Well, it was 38 here yesterday, and I don't think it's gone up but a few degrees. It's supposed to warm up next week, though. It's been that was fall. I hope you guys all liked it. It's over now. No more warm weather until March.
No, we still got warm weather here. I was out front just a minute ago having a quick smoke with my T-shirt, and the sun's bearing down on us. And yeah, it's great.
Hey, we can wear T-shirts up here. We would just die.
Well, yeah, that's
With
because you're not Canadian.
frostbite.
I was officially the guy at the store with a hoodie and shorts on, but I figured out why that happens. It's because the weather changes here so frequently. That guy probably was dressed for the weather 10 minutes ago, but the weather has completely flipped, and now the shorts are completely inappropriate. He's just mistimed it.
Anyways, welcome to the show, Grr Mania.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
This has been a long time coming.
I know it. I've been following your stuff, and I think you've been following my stuff almost exactly as long as I've been following you. Because one day years ago, I got a notification. Neil, the 604 Atheist is following you, and I was like, "Who the hell is this?" So I clicked on your channel.
I get that a lot.
And I was like, "Oh,
nobody." Get this clown off of my Twitter.
And then I was like,
Looks like
"Oh,
a
wait,
Canadian.
you got good stuff."
Yeah.
I like what
These
you do
goddamn
here.
Canadian stalkers. Yeah. Well, I think what I do here is important, right? And I think it helps people. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to keep on doing it as long as people have stories to share. And there's tons of them out there, and I'm working on more now. I'm working on more people, ex-Mormons, ex-JWs, you name it.
If I would have found your channel right during my deconversion, I think that would have helped me out a lot. But I think this was like years ago, before you started to do what you do on this channel, because I don't know what it's like for a lot of people, but I know when I deconverted, since 1972, when I deconverted, man, that was a sad, lonely time for me. But I'll get into all that later, though. But yeah,
sure. That's what we do here. We talk about how our journeys were away from whatever belief systems we were once a part of, and it doesn't necessarily. Hang on, I'm not quite centered here. Now I'm centered. Oh, anyway, so it could be like even like what I just did there, some weird woo-woo-y kind of bullshit too. Like I've had other people on here that were involved in that kind of thing, like pseudoscientific nonsense and whatnot. But your story, Grr, take us back into those days when you were, part of whatever cult it was you were a part of, and how you sort of started seeing some signs that give you doubts and questions, and then how you finally found your way out and becoming the atheist activist of sorts, anyways, that you are now, because you do have a YouTube channel, which, guys, I have linked below, so you can go check out Grr there if you want to. So take us on that journey, my friend.
Yeah, well, I would definitely say that I consider myself an atheist activist, and as far as that, I do think it's good to critique religion where it needs to be critiqued, and religious claims need to be scrutinized, because I think it's valuable to know, to hold on to truth and get rid of as many lies as possible. And
Right.
And for me, it's also okay. So me, I come from a very devout Pentecostal home. My parents, both young earth creationists, both Pentecostals, which means they believe in speaking in tongues, supernatural healing, the whole TBN Benny Hinn type of stuff where you fall out in the spirit, so they claim. And so from pre-K to 12th grade, I never spent a day in public or private school. My entire education was homeschooled, and it was all centered around God and specifically Christianity.
You were homeschooled?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I know when I was homeschooled, I would meet some kids who used to go to school, but now they're homeschooled, or something of that nature. But no, I was homeschooled the entire time.
So Andre wants to know if you say Pentecostal or Pentecostal.
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 Sometimes I slip up and say Pentecostal, and I'm like, it's not a penny, it's penty.
I'm pretty sure that's the correct Webster's way of pronouncing it. It's penny, like quarter, nickel, dime, penny.
Yeah. Give us all
Penny.
your money.
Exactly.
But yeah, so
Look at Mikey's reverse stripping.
I was trying to find before the show started my gray Naruto hoodie, but it's way upstairs, and that's like dozens.
much
It's
of
all
a
the
run.
way upstairs.
That's dozens of steps, and then I have to come down. No, I can't be bothered. So ramen hoodie it is.
Too
This
much
is what
like
a-
fucking
th-
exercise.
This is what I love about remaining behind an avatar. Don't have to worry about that. I could be naked for all anyone knows.
Ah,
I am under my clothing.
But yeah, so not only was I homeschooled my entire life, and not only like my education in homeschooling, when it came to science, you know what I got to do for science? Watch Kent Hovind VHS tapes.
Oh no.
no.
Yeah.
VHS tapes. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I'm showing my age a little bit. What I tell people is I'm in my late
I had
20s, early
beta.
30s.
Our first was a Betamax because my dad swore that was going to be the one to take off. And honestly, it was far better quality picture, but VHS took off. Thank you, porn industry.
By the way, my mom also is probably one of the last people on earth that has an HD DVD player.
Oh, yeah.
Before, the one that was like going up against Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember.
Wrong way, Mom. Wrong way.
Yep. Once again, Blu-ray. Thank you, porn industry. I have a PS3. It plays all that shit, so it don't matter.
Xbox.
I can't get into video games. I love like.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining the
show.
show.
I get in trouble with everybody anytime I say that. The last game I got into was the original Halo. After that, for some reason, I just could no longer get into video games, except for like board games and like, silly stuff like that.
How about real-time strategy games? Have you seen those?
That sounds like too much work. Too much mental work.
You're over, you're over the top, seeing over like your troops and all that stuff. You don't have to do
kind of like what you can do on a smartphone.
Yes, like that.
Yeah, play smartphone games.
Sure. Smartphone games I don't have a problem with.
I think that counts. Asylum on the PS3.
I guess that counts.
I think that counts as video games because there's definitely a video element. Yeah, I'm gonna count that as a video game.
But anyway, it doesn't much matter. Like I wish I could get into games like some of my friends, like my brothers. They eat video games up, and I'm like, I wish I could get that enjoyment, but just doesn't work for me for some reason. But yeah, so one thing, my husband is playing Call of Duty now. There you go.
See,
but so basically. Not only was I homeschooled, not only was my science education, if you can dare call it that, Kent Hovind.
That's not science education.
No, it's not at all. If anything, it's a prime example of how not to do science is Kent Hovind.
Yes.
It's I also had. Now I'm looking back and self-diagnosing. So I take what I say here with a grain of salt. I'm not a professional by any means, but I think I had a condition called scrupulosity. And if you've never heard of that before, it's basically religious OCD. And a prime example is, say somebody has OCD in as far as they get in the car about to go to work, and then they think to themselves, hey, did I lock the door to the house? They're like 99% sure. What is he saying? He better watch out. Yeah, Titan. I'm not even looking at the side chat, and somehow Titan Uranus still has managed to say what he just said.
Making things up with Dr. Hovind. Dr.
Hovind. From the diploma mill.
I forgot. I was going to put another set of quotes around the doctor part, and then I was like, oh, no, I hit the thing. It's gone.
Too late.
It's gone.
But oh yeah, so basically, let's say you get in your car, you're about to go to work, you lock the door, but right before you drive off, you say, "Wait, I am 99.99% sure that I locked the door." But then you think, well, maybe I should just get out and check it just to be on the safe side, because you start to rationalize. Because if I don't check it, maybe I didn't lock the door, and today's the day I get robbed, when it could easily be prevented if I just spare an extra 2 minutes to get out of the car and go check the door. Now, where the scrupulosity comes in, it was that way in regards to purity and being saved, like having salvation. So I would be walking down the street or something, and I would think, you know what? I was angry at someone yesterday, and that's a sin. And even though I'm saved, I might need to ask for forgiveness again, because we did not subscribe to, once you're saved, you're always saved. It was conditional security. So,
really?
meaning if you can become a Christian, but you must strive with fear and trembling to keep your salvation. If you do something wrong, if you commit a sin, it was
what a
terrible.
wonderful religion.
Oh, I'm
fear and trembling.
This is another reason why I get on YouTube and do what I do, is because I know firsthand what it's like to suffer that mental, psychological abuse, which is so instilled into me that God is always watching you, and if you mess up, since you can lose your salvation, you better make sure you're right with God. It would be awful if you lived up to 80 years old being a Christian, and then you stub your toe and you say, "Oh, Jesus' name in vain," or something like that, and then you go to hell for eternity. That was the mentality my parents instilled into me and my siblings.
Wow.
And that's not even like what that's not even what it means, right? Like taking the Lord's name in vain. That's like
that
doesn't mean like saying like God damn it.
Correct.
That what is it
basically
what does that really mean?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like if you're saying God is telling you to do a thing, or if you're using his religion incorrectly, then you're using God's name in vain. I think is the proper understanding. I could be wrong though.
That rings true for me too. I knew it was something like God told me to do this.
Right.
He didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, not only was I scared that I would lose my salvation, even though I was a devout believer following God and, loving Jesus and all that stuff, but my parents also had me listening to supposed testimonies of people who died and went to hell, and saw all the agonizing pain and suffering that not only atheists and unbelievers are going through, but also former Christians who turned away from the faith, Christians who could not forgive their abusers. So I, as a kid, I'm telling you, I was scared. I was absolutely terrified of just messing up one day and forgetting to ask God to forgive me, and then just suffer for eternity. It was awful. Don't get me wrong, my parents never like physically abused me or my siblings. And, I'm quite privileged in the way that I was raised, but there was a lot of downsides to it, which is the religious aspect. So I'm not like, I know some people have it far, far worse than I ever did in their own respective cults, but so I'm not trying to compare things or anything.
Your story. This is your story. You don't have to.
Yeah,
it's not a competition,
right? Yeah, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to be like, oh yeah, I had it the worst. No, that's not the case. But this is, like you said, it's my story.
Yeah,
and since I believed that you could lose your salvation, I started. This is in my late teenage life. I think I was about 17.
If you never had salvation, I guess you're screwed then. Eh?
Yeah, you're just screwed in that case.
No, guess I'm screwed.
So, well, this is what I tell Christians who support once saved, always saved. Oh, they hate it when I say this. I'm like, hey, I hope you guys are right, because if Christianity is true, then I'm going to heaven with y'all.
And I'm going to be a troublemaker.
And So it was because of my belief that I could lose my salvation and suffer an eternal consequence because of it. I started to look into once saved, always saved, because I was trying to calm my anxiety down. And it was because of my journey of looking at OSAS that it led me to other things. And this is when I began to really question my faith, because when I discovered that hell is 4 different words translated into one word, which is hell, that really was an eye opener for me. I was like, wait a second. You're telling me that the infallible, divinely inspired word of God has one word that gets translated into 4 different words? Well, there's Sheol, there's Hades, Gehenna, and Tartarus. And I only learned that because I was really, really searching different doctrines and trying to find out if I'm really at risk of eternal damnation if I, slip up one day. And that's kind of what started me down this path of deconstruction or deconversion. To eventually, I made it to not only an atheist, but quite frankly, an anti-theist, I think is probably a better word that I would use to describe myself. And,
yep, me too.
Well, it also, another thing, they taught me, like, I was raised into all of that on top of faith healing. And so I have an allergy to red meat. It's
no.
What?
It's called the red meat allergy.
Aptly named.
Yes, isn't it? There is a technical name for it. I just don't remember. It's alpha gel something or another. I can't remember. But what happens is if I were to eat bacon or ribs or a steak, anything that comes from a cow or a pig, I go into anaphylaxis. My heart rate just skyrockets. My blood pressure plummets. I break out in hives. My eyes get like as red as the Grr on my forehead in my avatar.
Pains me.
Oh,
not to be able to eat bacon would kill me.
Yeah,
alpha gal syndrome, AGS.
Yes, thank you. Now the reason why I bring this up is because this is important in my story, because one day I said, okay, God, I know you can do anything, and I'm putting my faith and my trust in you. I believe all these testimonies of people that you've healed. Let's see, and that's what caused Grr Mania to start a dumpster fire channel. Oh yeah, Spooky's referring to my streaming channel, which is, yes, definitely a dumpster fire channel. It's my goofing around channel. But so finally I was like, okay, God, I know you can heal me. Yeah, link it. Although I definitely recommend, if you've never seen any of my stuff, I definitely recommend my Grr Mania channel. It's much better. My Grr Streams channel it's really just off the cuff, where I get on there and just goof around and chat with like-minded people, and also occasionally some assholes, depending on what I'm feeling at the time that I hit the go live button. But yeah, so I took about 2 weeks praying, fasting, meditating in the word, not when somebody says meditate, I was not doing that type of meditation. I was doing what my parents called meditating in the word, which is basically just thinking about a Bible verse. And so I actually went to a fast food restaurant. I bought a little hamburger. I came home and I ate it. And it was all in faith that God had healed me.
Oh no.
Oh man. Spoiler alert, God did not heal me. I mean, we're talking about, like, I felt like I was going to die that night. It only takes about 45 minutes to an hour after eating something that I'm allergic to before I get the effects. Yeah. And I'm telling you, my parents, they were puzzled. They were like, what are you doing? What's happening? And when I could finally talk, because I had to take some medicine, and it finally kicked in. It just took forever to kick in. And if it wasn't for Benadryl, I probably would have died that night. Not that I'm sponsored by Benadryl, but I totally would sponsor them.
I don't I have allergies to so much shit, and there's like I have a very small list of anaphylactic ones. It's bad. Like whatever y'all think it is, and like your ability to communicate that you're having allergic reaction just diminishes every second, every breath you take, and it is terrifying.
And exactly, it is. Yes, it like as you're suffering it. Like in my case, on that night, not only could I not breathe out of my nose from the extreme hay fever, but I got so nauseous and I began to vomit. And as I'm vomiting, I can't breathe out of my nose. So during this period of barfing up a lung, I can't breathe. I almost passed out a few times. This is all because I genuinely believed that God had healed me. Like it wasn't just a faith thing. It was, no, I know God can do this, because this was the stuff I was indoctrinated by, among others, which was God can heal, and God does heal those who have faith in him. And I'll tell you, I had a lot of faith in God. I had so much faith in God, I risked my life for him. Like I risked my well-being. Because it's not that I just believed in God. No, as far as I was concerned, I knew God. And
what did you do that risked your life?
Eating the hamburger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Like that. So
I thought this was something new for some reason.
No, you're good. So
I'm just dumb. So bear with me.
Trust me, since I'm on the stream, you're not the dumbest.
Yeah, I'm right here.
No, but for real, like you've always struck me as very intelligent. Mikey, I've not interacted with before, but he seems maybe even more intelligent. Maybe.
All the rumors are
much smarter than me.
But yeah.
And then there's Ox.
Oh yeah, Ox doesn't count.
And then there's Ox.
Because he says he used to chase parked cars and rock walls. So I'm not entirely.
Yeah, that sounds like something Ox would say.
Maybe it's a hill. I don't know. Park and brake.
But let's see. But you know what? After having that experience, I still didn't lose my faith in God. Yeah, exactly. Another example of the dangers of certain beliefs. Yeah. But yeah, so even though I went through that experience, the next day, I was still very much a Christian, but I did kind of change my opinion on how God heals and who he decides to heal was drastically challenged. Like I was like, okay, maybe
I guess so.
Maybe this shit isn't what they've told me all my life, which is you just gotta have faith. Because I thought, well, maybe and that's another thing. Faith healers, they will just gaslight you, and they blame.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yes, they will blame if you don't get healed. They blame you. They say, well, you didn't have enough faith, and it's like,
right.
What? And like in my case, I'm like, no. Like I legit like put my life in danger.
More faith than you, bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, it was years later.
Cell number. Fuck you.
Oh, actually, I'm glad you said that. One thing that does irritate me. One thing that does irritate me from Christians, like anytime a Christian says, "Oh, you're going to hell" or anything like that, I'm like, I don't care. It's whatever. But one thing that does irritate me is when a Christian says, "Hey, you are never really a Christian. You were never truly saved. You never actually believed in God." I'm like, bitch, please. Like, you're just wrong. Like, factually, 100% wrong. And that's the only thing that irritates me from Christians when I'm engaging with one or when one is insulting me. You can insult my intelligence. You can insult me however you want. But to claim that I was never saved, that annoys me. And now, obviously, I don't believe in God at all. I don't believe in a deist God, a theist. Yeah, go ahead.
But Grr, you never were saved.
Shut up.
Big meaty guy. Neil's a meaty guy.
Yeah, hashtag Neil the meanie. But yeah, that's the one thing. that does irritate me with Christians. It's like you can say all the nonsense and stupid stuff that you want to say, but as soon as they say that, I'm like, no. Oh, well, the other thing that I absolutely cannot stand is when a Christian tells me, hey, faith. I'm like, I can't just actively choose to believe in God any more than you could choose to believe in Santa Claus. Like, it doesn't work like that.
You don't choose your beliefs.
Right. You don't choose your beliefs. Now, you can choose certain paths to take to see if you can strengthen your belief or challenge it, sure, but not the belief itself.
Okay, you're either convinced of something or you're not.
Exactly. And you'd be surprised. Well, you probably wouldn't be surprised how many Christians like
I'm rarely
don't like
surprised.
That. Yeah. Same. But yeah, when so it was years later, that's when I started to looking into once you're saved, are you always saved? And then I started to realize, okay, so the Bible does have some errors, like legit translation errors. If the infallible word of God can be so mistaken about such a core belief, and as far as like what is hell according to Christianity, I'm like, what else can it be wrong about? And then I started to
everything.
Yeah, everything. And then I started to think about not just these contradictions, these black and white contradictions. I started thinking about the philosophical contradictions. And what I mean by that is, how can Jesus say, hey, turn the other cheek if someone slaps you? If someone steals your shirt, give them your coat too.
I'll turn the other fucking cheek.
Right. Just be good to the best of your abilities, no matter how terrible someone is to you. Yet at the same time, he's going to roast all of his enemies for eternity. That did not jive with me.
Yep. Nope.
And I have to give a big thank you to Dark Matter 2525. When I stumbled across his channel during this little period in my life, he was the straw that broke the camel's back. John's
good people. It was just his birthday. I did a little video compilation with a bunch of other creators.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never talked to the guy, but man, like
either have I.
I would have still become an atheist without him, but he did definitely, I think, like I said,
helped
he was
he was that path.
And that's one reason why I approach Christianity and these topics. When I challenge a Christian, the page number, well, it depends on what translation you get, because even then they'll cut some of those out.
Yeah, but don't they still renumber them though? Or do they?
That wouldn't surprise me if they just literally took them out with wrong page numbers on the bottom. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Get the white out.
We don't need that one. Yeah, we don't need that one.
So it's just like, what I was saying about as far as how the type of videos that I make on my channel, I make the type of videos that were helpful in my deconstruction, in my deconversion. For example, when people are debating evolution versus creationism or science versus pseudoscience, that didn't really affect my belief, because there was a point in my quote unquote walk with Christ where I was okay with evolution. It's just God did it. God created the world and he used evolution. That's how simple it was for me to resolve that issue. But using the Bible as evidence against the Bible, like the contradictions, the moral issues, the fact that you have an all-loving deity destroying the whole world in a flood, and then he's going to do it again in a fire in the future. Like that type of stuff is what made me think.
That's fine.
And but everybody's different, so I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. It's just I know what worked for me, and besides, like, theology has always kind of been what I know more of. Like when it comes to science, count me out. I probably don't know anything. But Anyway.
Sorry, my sister just texted me to tell me that she made reservations at the Milltown pub for 7 on Friday for my birthday
that sounds
party.
Nice.
So yeah,
I'll be late.
So, well, you got time.
It's
like days before Friday.
It's a very small plane,
dude. If you flew out here for my fucking birthday, I would shit my pants.
How far?
But I'd bring a spare pair just in case, you
know. I'm in Chicago and he's in Canada, and the west coast of Canada.
In Canada, that's a big place, buddy. I'm in Vancouver.
There's
the
like
West Coast.
There's all of 30 Canadians put together, so I'm not really trying to. Yeah, it's a big country, but nobody lives there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen South Park. I know
you guys
how it works in Canada.
You guys just live on the ridge. You know, you just
we
live
got
on
like 31 million people here. What are you talking about?
That's
we all live at the border, except for a scattered few live up in like Inuit and Yellowknife and shit like that.
So you have one state's worth of people,
or none of it, I should say.
It's spread over the biggest country, like third biggest country.
Yeah. Well, most of our country isn't really livable.
It belongs to the bears.
That's right, and the mooses and the wolverines.
The Mises.
I was about to say the Mises too.
Mises to pieces.
Mises, geeses, gooses, all of them live up there.
Oh yeah, you don't want to fuck with the cobra chickens.
Cobra chickens,
or as we also call them, military grade pigeons.
You know, chickens. Like that's another thing. I did grow up on a quasi farm, and I'll tell you, I don't know how the word chicken is synonymous with coward, because chickens are not cowards. They will straight up come up to you. Well, at least the roosters will, and they'll kick the shit out of you.
I actually have a funny little story. I used to live in this basement suite in Richmond, and the guys that lived in the back in this trailer out back had a pet rooster named Rocky. And my friend John came over to visit me, and I was so fucking still sleeping because it was early in the morning. But I was woken to this noise of the and it was John running around the fucking house because Rocky was chasing him. What the hell is that fucking noise? And then I opened the door. It's like, let me in. And he goes, shut the door. And I shut the door. And
you kind of sounded like a chicken there. Come on. Well, more of a turkey. Never mind. I don't know my birds.
I just need to know how long to cook them.
Right. Yeah, at least I'm not allergic to like
birds
everything else.
They're more of a snack, though.
I was about to say, wouldn't they just be bones with like 1% meat?
Bones with feathers. That's pretty much it.
Like 99% bones and feathers, and then 1% meat.
You just grab them. Oh, there you go.
Yes,
see, the feathers clean everything on the way down, right? So, just kidding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like your own little edible Swiffer. It's going down.
Don't even need a napkin.
Speaking of Swiffer, hey, look at that.
You should use that as your mic, as your pop filter.
Welcome everyone to another edition of.
Now we go to our man on the street. We got Neil. He's in the kitchen with an update on the ice. Neil,
it's still frozen as far as I can tell right now, but we are working on having it melted down into a bubble.
The hummingbirds are coming.
Watch your step. No.
He's a slippery one, that Neil.
It's a slippery one. Yeah. I'll come over and clean.
Neil, I have to ask you, what got you into to make your channel? Like, what encouraged you to say, hey, I'd like to hear and share stories of people leaving cults and religions and whatnot?
Well, first of all, it's interesting to me of what causes people to abandon a belief system. I find that's interesting, very interesting. And I watched Seth Anders do it a few times. I've seen it on his show.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't really find very many other channels that do this full time. Like you see the odd episode pop up where they're talking to somebody about how they found their way free. And I thought there needs to be a channel that is all about this. And because I'm interested in hearing these kinds of stories, and because I know that they help people, because I get emails quite often of people saying, oh, your channel's fantastic. I think what you're doing is great, and you're helping a lot of people, yada, yada. That's why I decided to start it up. And, because I had another channel already, but it was more in the gaming field where it's doing all my Yu-Gi-Oh duels and stuff like that. So then I decided, yeah, it's time to change over to doing this. So I moved everything over to this channel pretty much, and started doing these shows because I like people too. I like talking to people, and building the community was also supposed to be part of it as well, which is why I do the after parties, right? So that people can meet other people in the after parties and know that they are not alone as a non-believer. So, and I met some wonderful, wonderful people doing this, and I consider them all family now. So
that's awesome.
Like Stephanie in the chat there.
Let me see. Let me look at the side chat. Haven't been looking at the side chat. Let's see.
Yes, I know. They were reaming you out for that too.
No more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You know,
scum and villainy.
There was this one night on my streaming channel where I usually pay attention to the side chat. I'm like, I engage with as many people as I possibly can. And then there's this one night, and it was my fault. I said, hey, who wants to join the stream? Let me know, and then I'll post a link. And then I did not even look at the side chat for like an hour and a half. And then when I went back to look at it, all it was my own viewers roasting me. Not paying attention to the side chat, and they still won't let it go.
I feel your pain.
I was about to say, welcome. Yeah, that's what they'll do. If you you take your eye off there for a second, and they have a whole line of jokes all about you.
Oh, every time.
It's like, no, I was rubbing
finger
the
salute it. Look at this, girl.
See, those two comments.
Now, Uncle Spooky.
Those two comments is pretty much my entire side chat anytime I stream. It's Tight Uranus saying, oh my God, why, how does Grr even know how to stream? Or it's Pat Lowinger saying something like that. Occasionally, Dr. Josh will come in there and just
rip a new one.
Yeah, rip a new one. I'm like,
and he's good at it too.
Yeah, he is. He is, especially when he tries to ask his pre-supper questions. Those are always fun.
Who's the new guy?
But you know, it's funny. One thing that I've learned since streaming, because I did take. It was actually a year away. I took a 1-year break from my Grr Mania channel because I felt like I needed a break, and so I started streaming, and because I could engage more with people, be them fans or haters or just subscribers, and it was so nice just to not have to put too much thought into anything. Just hit go live and then just say hello and watch some silly videos or some more apologetic videos and just like respond off the cuff. But I will say,
apologetic videos give me a fucking headache.
I can't do it.
Yeah, like it. You know, it's if you do it too much, it will harm your psyche. That's the opinion I'm under. But man, I tell you, it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna get yelled at about something.
True enough. True enough. Well, you know, one thing, my dad often gave me these little one-liner advice things all the time. And one of the ones that always stuck with me, well, two that really stuck with me. One is you can't please 100% of people 100% of the time.
Yeah.
The other one that always stuck with me is shit. And it just fell out of my head. This is what aging does, people.
Oh, I lose my train of thought.
Suddenly goes, no, I'm not giving you that memory. Here you go. Here it is. Oh, no, it's gone.
My plan is to make the most people mildly irritated as humanly possible.
Sometimes I will do that. Like I'll bring up veganism, but I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm a vegan, but I'm definitely sympathetic to at least the good arguments, and I think they have a lot of good arguments. And so occasionally I'm like, you know what? I haven't pissed off a lot of people all at once in a while. I'm gonna do a stream about veganism because that gets everybody riled up. Yep, everybody gets pissed.
I've had some delicious vegan food. So
Yeah, well, since I'm allergic to hamburgers and barbecue, I've got to say I love Beyond Meat, Impossible, all that stuff. The vegans are making this world a lot easier for my taste buds. Because
I don't mind the Impossible Whopper. I really
Yeah.
don't taste a difference, to be honest.
Almost-
Personally.
It's funny.
Nope. I had to try them all, right?
Well, the first time I got the Impossible Whopper, I was like, I don't know. This looks like beef. It smells like beef because it's been too long since I've last had an actual hamburger, and so I had to let my girlfriend take a bite. I was like, "Can you test this for me?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely not beef." I'm like, "Okay, good." And I guess that's a bad thing because she knew it. Like as soon as she took a bite, she was like, "Nope, that's not a real hamburger."
Oh no, Nick, I guess heard me talking about trying an Impossible Whopper.
Let's see, what are they saying?
Are you saying, is this really Grr Mania?
Yeah. If Nick brings
Y'all
up,
just settle down now there, Nicholas.
If he brings up anything about jellyfishing, I'm just going to block him so I don't have to see his comments.
Jellyfishing? Oh, you mean like
jellyfish?
SquarePants does?
Yeah, well, I don't know what it was the other night.
Sponge Pants, Square Bob, whatever his fucking name is.
Oh, don't act like you don't know it's Sponge.
You're not that old, Neil.
I love the show. Don't even worry about it.
Somehow, like
we love Squid Bob.
Squid
Bob and his action
Bob
friends.
Square Patrick and his action friends.
Circle pants.
Now opposable. I don't know what do you call it. Movable arms.
Kung Fu clarinet.
The best character on that show is Gary the Snail, anyway. So
I relate more and more to Squidward. The older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, Squidward knew what he was talking about.
Do you play clarinet though?
Oh no, I don't have like.
No one plays clarinet and tells other people about it.
I think it's a myth that people.
No one admits to it.
Yeah, no one says they play clarinet.
Yeah,
because clarinet case you're carrying? No, that's my machine gun.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's my machete.
That's just my drugs.
Exactly.
I guess. Briefcase of drugs.
Yeah. So the jellyfish
Italian
thing.
Sausages, really? I'll have to try.
Oh that. Yeah. No, I don't think it was the Beyond Meat, but I did try some vegan sausage, and it was good. I don't remember what brand it was, but it wasn't that one. I tried vegan bacon one time. I was not a fan of the vegan bacon, but some of the sausages I've had has been pretty good. I could do chicken or turkey, but that just kind of gets old. Yeah, yeah, ox. Side of beef club. That'll be if I ever start a Patreon, that's what it's going to be called. The Side of Beef Club.
Beef on the side.
Beef on the side.
Okay, so I'm assuming this is something you guys watched or something? Some guy with a jellyfish in his Speedo?
Okay, so
he was stinging his stinger.
This past weekend, I just started a stream at midnight. Actually, I think it was about almost 1:00 in the morning. And Nick was on along with a bunch of other people. I step away for a few minutes just to go relieve myself and get another glass of water. I come back and they're talking about jellyfish. I'm like, where's that? What does the coins mean? Does that mean it's a super chat or is that on your phone?
Drink.
I can do that for sure.
Yeah, when you see hashtag coins, you drink. And it started a long time ago. Sometimes we keep up with it. Sometimes we slack. So
I've seen it
hear
pop
it.
up.
If you're out there in the chat and you hear the coins, feel free to drink.
You know what to do.
Every now and then I'll see it pop up when I'm checking out your channel.
That'd be why.
And yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Triple coin stoner haiku.
But yeah, as far as the jellyfish thing goes, yeah, I come back to the stream and they're talking about jellyfish. I'm like, well, okay, anyway, so trying to move the topic forward. And then 30 minutes later, I hear, so what about the jellyfish? I'm like, oh my God, I was not part of this conversation. So every time y'all bring it up, I'm so lost. And now,
don't know.
Yeah, now I guess it's a thing. You could tell Grr was thinking about that jellyfish. Titan.
So where were we?
I don't remember. Not sure.
So with the purity culture stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe what's something that maybe people who don't really realize they're in it, what's kind of like a red flag to let them know that they're in it?
Oh, well, it would be stuff that they already know, but maybe it's not registered. For example, I know the church that I would go to, like my youth group and all that stuff, they'd always be like, hey, if you're really in love, you can wait until marriage before you do any of the hanky-panky. And, can't watch any naughty videos or anything like that. I don't know what all words are allowed on your
says hanky
channel.
You can swear. I don't give a shit. But okay, I've a real fucking this kind of blows my mind because I don't know if you know what Speedos are, but they're kind of tight. They're like fucking skin tight bathing suits that dudes used to wear back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I even had a pair when I was a kid from the swim team. But how the fuck does a fucking jellyfish get into your Speedos?
I was on swim team and they tried to get us team Speedos. And then I looked right at that lady. I was like, hey,
no.
Do you actually think that this is going to help us win one of these competitions this year?
You got no room for my junk.
And then we looked at all the schools on the schedule. She's like, you guys don't have to wear them. I was like, thank you. I was like, we're going to lose anyway. You might as well let us fucking be comfortable.
Lose with dignity.
Right. Let me wear my own clothes if I'm going to fucking just go out there and get absolutely demolished.
Like, I'm sorry, but you'd literally have to pull part of it up and go, here you go, little jellyfish. Get in there and sting my wang. Like, what the hell is this?
Man, if water can get in, so can a stinger.
Nobody uses the word coitus in it.
I do.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I use spawning. Come on, let's go spawn. No, it really is for you because I'm just pretty much out of breath and it's going everywhere anyway. So
here we are. And now we're here.
Yeah.
Here we are.
All the way back.
There we go.
So, girl, what was the? You were saying that it was pretty much dark matter that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, but there had to be more involved with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a lot. Because like I was pretty much already at that point where I was like, okay, I was kind of a yeah, I'm sure. I did not say making a whoopee. I will never stoop that low. I don't even like saying it when I'm quoting you. But yeah, no, it was a lot of things. The issues with the Bible not being this infallible book, that was like a huge thing. And then when I was watching Dark Matter 2525, I was already right there. I mean, I was kind of turning more into a deist at this point, but I still held out hope that maybe the Christian God is real. But after watching some of his stuff, I was like, well, no, if this Christian God is real, like, guy has a massive dick, you know? And so I tell he
wouldn't be wearing a Speedo then.
He definitely would not be wearing a Speedo. He's the type that would make you suffer if you chose not to wear a Speedo. Oh, that was another thing. Like, when I would think about, okay, so God gives us free will, but then punishes us if we practice free will. How is that free will?
Why would you want to use it, you evil sinner?
Right.
Oh, first of all, Ox, you're gonna have to add a few more zeros to those numbers.
Yeah, .00
to avoid seeing either of them in Speedo. All right. My Cash App is we don't have Cash App in Canada.
Let's just say this: y'all couldn't afford it. If y'all are watching this show, you couldn't afford it.
We need numbers with like 85 zeros.
Yeah, you should be like out in the Seychelles on holiday. That's the kind of money we're talking about.
Talking like Jeff Bezos money.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you. It'll be worth it though.
a couple arms and a couple
I'd
legs.
totally do it. I would dance around in the fucking street in a fucking safety orange Speedo for that kind of money.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would do almost anything as long as I'm not like hurting somebody or anything like that.
I would hurt several people. No.
Well, I definitely blind several people. That's for sure.
Or you'd make them wish that they went blind. That would be my. That would be my.
That bright orange Speedo. Well, I mean.
Well, actually, that would literally be blinding, especially if it was like a reflector type of orange.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I'll wear the Speedo, but it'll be made out of mirrors. Jokes on you guys.
Where's that sun? Let's get him in the eyes with this.
The harder they look, they'll only see themselves.
It's really a reflection upon society, isn't it?
Yeah. You want to see my junk? Look at yourself.
Look at your face.
Look at your own face.
Look at your face in my crotch.
That's how I feel.
Ox, I will never have 500K subs. This channel's far too niche for that.
If you do get to 500K subs, which I think you could, then you'll have to do the Speedo. It'll be the Speedo stream. Most viewed video on YouTube.
If I hit 500K subs, I will wear a fucking Speedo on camera.
Oh no! Why did you say it? Now they're gonna do it.
We're gonna clip it.
Oh no!
Titan Uranus is probably clipping that as we speak.
It's gonna be all
Everyone's
over Twitter.
Making new accounts now.
Right.
Here we
go. Release the bots.
Hey, they're going, yeah, no. As a matter of fact, I'm unsubbing because I don't want to see.
I'm unsubbing from my own channel.
I'm gonna have to start blocking the videos.
4 Google accounts, we'll call it, for the band, for my old YouTube channel, just my personal name, and this one. So I've subbed to my channel with all 4 of them, except for this one. So the 3 of them, I guess.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, because you can't sub. Yeah, you can't sub to your own channel under that YouTube name.
If you don't think the Bin Podcast isn't following Mikey Famine, that isn't following Vic Stracker, which isn't following Speaking from the yeah, one hand washes the other.
And it's funny because you can give yourself a wrench to your other accounts. You're like,
absolutely.
Yep, I get a wrench over here. I get a wrench over there. Yeah.
Got mad wrenches. Got to open up a craftsman shop.
That's right.
Yep, that's right, Ox. Super long hair down there as well. That's why, so that the
woods.
So the crabs can bungee jump.
Oh my god.
Well, Reason showed up at the right time. Hello, all. What did I just hear? Bungee jumping crabs? What's going on here now?
And if I could just recommend everyone to not subscribe to Titan Uranus. I just wanted to say that. No reason. Just wanted to say that.
It's Teton Uranus, by the way.
Teton Uranus.
Teton Uranus. Long lines. Yeah. So if you could go back in time, Grr, and see your younger self still in the days of belief, what? Oh my goodness. What would you tell yourself?
I just heard the Speedos.
I appreciate that, Stumpy. That's what you're going to call me after seeing me in a Speedo.
Honestly, I don't know what I would tell my younger self. Probably just that, I don't know, it gets better.
Scam. Don't be a victim.
Like, hey, just because you're losing your entire foundation for all your beliefs, it's not the end of the world. Because it did feel that way when I became an atheist. Sure. Like in my baby atheist stage, right after deconversion, I mean, it was sad for me. I was really sad because, my entire life, my entire family, all my friends, they all believed in this one thing, which is the Christian God. And to realize that was all nonsense, like there's no good evidence for any of it, like that was really difficult for me. And I didn't even try to start debates. I didn't try to criticize religion or anything during that stage, because I thought, hey, They have a security blanket. Let them have it. Now I'm like, okay, no. I mean, I want them to be happy. I want everyone to be happy, but don't be happy at the expense of forcing your religious beliefs upon others.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I don't know what I would tell my younger self. I'd probably just say, hey, it's not the end of the world. One day you're going to realize you believe in lies, but you'll get over it.
My younger self wouldn't believe me.
That's probably a fair point, actually.
I'd be like, but I'm you from the future. I know better.
I'm the much wiser you. I don't know about more mature, but wiser for sure. Just like by 2 degrees.
I'm Pickle
2%.
Rick.
Well,
Pickle
there's a better way to do that if you want to look wise. You just draw on some quick glasses. Go listen. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Listen here.
Just start
That's why
cleaning.
he's always wiser.
Just start cleaning them in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Your IQ just went up like 5,000%.
Damn it, they're broken.
And they just went back down.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
The Lord doesn't want me to read. Fucker.
No.
Oh, Well Reason said something that I do agree with.
Oh.
About I can relate. As a recent atheist, I am still re-mourning the people I lost who I had hoped to see again. Very strange and painful. That is another thing. Is when I it still kind of bothers me, but it especially bothered me at the time. When I realized I could no longer believe in God. My hope of seeing certain family members again who had already died, or a best friend of mine who had passed away, knowing that I would not be able to see them ever again, that was really crushing. It was sad, and it was during this time that I thought, no, I really want to rekindle my faith in God. I really want to go back to being a believer, but I just could not do it. And the more I looked into it, the less faith that I had, the more faith that I lost. And now looking back, I'm like, I wouldn't want to believe in this Christian God anyway. The dude's crazy, for lack of better words. Psychopath, maybe.
Well, let's not get carried away now. Yeah, I didn't really. I was always, at least I think so. Anyways, as far back as I can remember, I was always on the fence.
Mm.
I never really fully believed. I was like, this just sounds weird. It can't be fucking real to me, right? Like I used to get kicked out of Hebrew school for asking questions because I was raised Jewish. Like, there's no fucking way that many animals were on a boat. Fuck you. There's no way.
Oh, I remember I remember during this journey that was I can't remember what the first thought was that started to get my gears turning. I think it first was the translation thing of hell. I think that was probably the first thing, but I do remember somewhere in the beginning stages of my atheism was the story of Noah's Ark. And I never really thought about it before. I was always taught, yeah, God drowned the whole world because he loves his creation. Insert some sort of mental gymnastics to justify it.
No kidding.
It never really occurred to me, wait a second. You're telling me a small family with 2 of each kind of animal on the earth was on a boat? Like, that never actually registered with me. And it's like, that is so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only does it go against any type of statistics that you could think of. If you analyze it scientifically, it's like
200,000 plus species of beetles alone.
And dinosaurs, because let's be honest, the young Earth creationists. Well, those who actually believe that dinosaurs did exist, because then you have those who are like, no, dinosaurs didn't even exist, which is a new one to me. I was like, wow, not even my parents are dinosaur deniers. They just think that they lived on the planet at the same time. But not only can you not scientifically justify Noah's Ark and that story, but the moral implications are also terrible. Like, you have God, an all-perfect creator, that creates an imperfect creation and then kills them for it. It's like, what? Yep. Ridiculous. No matter how you look at it. Even if by some stretch of the imagination they could prove that you could get 2 of every kind of animal on this little size rinky-dink boat, which is not even nowhere near as big as the Titanic. Even if you could justify that scientifically, and including all the food and the waste management and all that stuff, it still would not even come. You'd still have a huge battle of justifying it morally. So no matter how you slice it or dice it, it's a lost cause.
I know. It's like, oh, we're going to read the Bible here. Don't need this.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's funny because every now and then I'll meet a progressive Christian. I say progressive, but one who's not strictly a fundamentalist. And they'll say, well, Noah's Ark wasn't all that. What does it say? I know what you mean. Once I was honest with myself about what I truly believed, it was shocking to realize just how many mental gymnastics I had been doing to try and hold. Yes, I am there with you. I can't remember what I was saying. I lose my train of thought all the time.
Train now boarding.
Something about the ark, but I don't remember.
Yeah, you were talking about how someone was listing what was in the ark.
Oh, yeah. So occasionally I'll come across a Christian who's like, no. Noah's Ark isn't a literal historical thing. It's a metaphor. It's allegorical. What type of lesson do we learn if it's just a fictional story, which it is, but if you don't believe it happened, it's still a terrible story because you have God killing literally everyone except a small family. How it doesn't make it any better. It makes it better scientifically, but you still have mental gymnastics to justify your supposed all-loving God wiping out 99% of humans and 80% of life, because even the saltwater life would be damaged because it's a lot of water from the sky, and I don't think that's salt water.
Fresh water as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, that too. Yeah.
Lakes. There would be no freshwater lakes anymore either.
Yeah, it's just too much. And they think that being an atheist requires faith. It's like, how do you get that? I'm sure y'all have gotten that too. Oh, well, atheist takes more faith to be an atheist.
Yeah.
It's like bullshit.
Nope, not at all.
And
for me, it's default mode.
Yeah, exactly. It is. I think so. But yeah, it just kills me. Like I've looked for new arguments for God because I'm, even though I don't believe in any God whatsoever, and even though I'm confident that God or gods do not exist, I still leave that 0.1% chance that, hey, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm always up for a new argument, but I can't come across any new arguments. Like I've looked, but there's nothing new. It's the same kalam, contingency, the moral argument, which is my favorite because it's just so laughable that basically the Christian will say, we need a God who tortures and kills babies to tell us it's objectively wrong to torture and kill babies. That's essentially what they're saying, which I think is just ironic. They won't use those specific
Catholic
words.
Church. Africa.
Oh, I do see Pat Lowinger is in the side chat. And
apparently.
You know how I was just saying I haven't heard of any new arguments for God. I would like to retract that because I did hear a new argument to me, which was a guy that Pat Lowinger debated about a 7-day cycle. The 7-day week proves God. And that was the dumbest argument I've ever heard, even though it is the newest argument I've heard. Yeah, this guy was saying the fact that we have a 7-day week proves the God of the Bible. And then he would do these weird mental gymnastics and different Bible verses that would allegedly prove that the reason we have a 7-day week is because God ordained it. Just really bizarre. And Pat was there to debate him, and it was a fun time.
It has nothing to do with the calendar that we use.
Oh,
nothing to do with that.
And Pat really made a good case on exactly that. How, hey, whoa, like, the Bible has nothing to do with our calendar, right?
Right. The Gregorian calendar is a very political thing that we all use.
Mm-hmm.
there was debate over it. It had nothing to do with, well, you know, that old ass book. I think they want us to do it this way.
Finally get some love, Grr.
Yeah, occasionally I'll get one.
It was an accident.
Yeah, he probably meant to send that to like his wife or something, or a significant other.
Wrong window.
They probably said that because he created everything in 7 days, and I think the funny thing about that is he rested on the 7th day, which is why we have the Sabbath or whatever. But
right.
Why does an omnipotent being need to rest?
Well, that's when they're going to say. They're going to say, well, we're just using, terms that humans can relate to. It's like, so we need a term that relates to God, how he's tired, mentally exhausted. What?
No,
I don't know. No. Anthropomorphizing or whatever the word is. But yeah.
Baby a la mode. Baby with ice cream. What?
That's baby silly. With ice cream.
All right. Well, sir, we have actually, I just realized we went past the hour.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did not even realize that. Yeah.
But
when's the
I do want to.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up shortly. And if any of you guys out there in the chat would like to be involved with the after party, just let us know and we'll get a link to you. I'm going to have Mikey put the link for the after party for you, Grr, in the private chat so we don't have to email it to you.
Okay, yeah, that works.
And also, I wanted to thank you so much for finally getting this done. Finally having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, well, I hope that it's fun for people. So, not a lot of time, but I love a link. Okay, don't give one to Nick.
After that,
I'm kidding.
I don't get an invite to my own after party.
I don't get to go to my own fucking after party. What's this? But thanks, guys, out there in the chat or on Twitch, YouTube, and the Twitter. Hope you guys enjoyed the scene. Yes, I have seen Grr's channel. I've actually been lurking in the live chat while he's been.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm usually at work, so I can't really interact so much. So
no, I
just listen and stuff. And I laugh my ass off. So
I always tell people, hey, if you're gonna subscribe to me, just go to the Grr Mania channel because my streaming channel is just where I bullshit around. Yeah. Unless that's your cup of tea.
That's all right. Well, good night, Jason. Sorry for keeping you up, buddy. Yeah, I guess that's it. Also, thanks to my wonderful patrons. You guys, I really wouldn't be able to do this if you weren't helping me out. So if you're interested in becoming a patron too, by the way, there is a link down below. There's all kinds of links down below. So check them all out. You can hear my music. You can buy me something for my birthday on my Wish app. Not Wish, my
your OnlyFans?
Wish list links OnlyFans. Down there. Yeah. My OnlyFans, yes. Join my OnlyFans and watch me in a fucking traffic cone orange Speedo. Yeah. No, you're not going to see that. But anyway, we are... well, reason he sent me an email? Really? It may have gone into my spam, and I always delete my spam. Try it again.
A link to the after party is in the description box if you guys want to just lurk in the chat.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and yes, and after anyway, we're gonna take a bit of a break between the two. So go grab yourself something to drink or something to munch on, and sit back and hang out with us or watch the show. And until then, guys, like I always say at the end of the interview portion, like the late great Christopher Hitchens once said, "It's called faith because it's not knowledge." And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.